Welcome to PhotoshopUser TV, brought to you by the National Association of Photoshop Professionals. And now, here are your hosts, the Photoshop guys.
Well, hi everybody, Scott Kelby here in a pre-recorded announcement. Now I know that we have a live show today, but unfortunately I didn't realize that we're going to tape it today and I couldn't be there. I'm actually shooting a PGA golf event today. And I'm not going to use my brand new D4, am I? Oh yes I am, oh yeah. That's it right there. By the way, that was in RAW. That's pretty quick for RAW, isn't it? Anyway, hey, so I'm not going to be able to be there today, but I wanted to at least go on the show and tell you guys, first, thank all of you faithful viewers. 300 shows, that's a lot of shows. But we're very excited that you guys stuck with us. And also my thanks to all the Photoshop guys, because they've been doing this for 300 episodes. Well, Matt has, you know. The rest of the guys, they're kind of maybe 115, 140. But I thought it would be missing out if I didn't tell you that. Number one, it's the 300th episode. Number two, I can't be there. Number three, don't worry. The show will be produced with the same professional, serious, journalistic qualities as it always has been. Happy 300th, everybody, and here are, live, the Photoshop guys.
You're opening it. Welcome.
Well, hey everybody, welcome to the 300th episode of PhotoshopUser. Hey, we got balloons.
Hey, are there prizes in there? No.
There's nothing in them.
No prizes.
All right.
Yay, 300.
There you go, Pete. We didn't want to miss you. Did RC get one in the weather? He did.
He did.
Wow. There's nothing to stick it on, Dave.
Okay, well, I got nothing to...
Yeah, he's got even less, you know.
Everybody, it is our 300th episode of PhotoshopUser TV. So it's kind of a big deal around here. We've been doing this show for 300 weeks.
Crazy.
300 weeks? This has
crazy
been longer
episodes.
because we've taken breaks
a few
and
breaks,
stuff.
but it's...
Holy crap,
300
it really,
episodes worth,
that's
yeah.
a long time ago. Anyway,
That's right.
we are the Photoshop guys, brought to you by, or Photoshop TV, brought to you by the National Association of Photoshop Professionals, those who bring you PhotoshopUser magazine.
The newest issue.
Right here. And I'm joined today on the set by a man that has been here for 300 episodes, since episode number 1. Well, we've all missed a couple good traveling, but you've been here since episode number 1, Mr. Dave Cross.
Hey, everybody.
And if I recall correctly, Photoshop TV was kind of your idea.
It actually was, because this is the
Let's
the
tell them
funny
the history.
part. The people it's hard to imagine this, that we used to actually do a podcast called Photoshop Radio.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
We all sat in my office with
you guys,
microphones.
well, first you guys dumped on me when I started. That was the very first thing that got done. When I started here, that was here, Mac, do Photoshop Radio. So I was sitting in my office alone. Now you can take it.
So then we started doing,
They
grabbing
realized I sucked.
Three
so.
people in my office having a chat about the world's most visual program, audio only, which was kind of odd. And then one day I saw these podcasts, they were starting to put little video clips, and I went to Scott and Matt and I said, hey, there's this new thing you can actually show video in a podcast. So Scott said, that's pretty cool. We should, we could have a meeting with our, various marketing, and we could have lead to another meeting, or we can just film it tomorrow. So we just met in his office the next day and filmed the very first episode.
I remember that first episode too.
Yeah, we were all the three, Dave, Scott, and I were standing in Scott's office, and our video person was actually through a door, behind a door that was open, shooting. It was
with one microphone hanging up from the ceiling.
We
that
did
we
it.
bought
So
that day.
it's grown to what it is today. Now we've got
Pretty crazy.
kinds of crazy stuff. We have all of I'm also joined by Mr. Corey Barker.
Hello. I wasn't quite there for the first episode.
So you weren't there for the first one.
But I
You
remember
started
the first
about, what,
episode.
5 years ago or so?
Yeah, it was 06, so late 06.
What,
yeah.
tell your first episode was?
Actually, my first appearance on the show was the very first thing I did with this company. I had visited the office, early on, but then the first thing Scott wanted me to do was come on the show and we'll introduce you. And that's when you guys were still at the studio down in St. Pete.
Yeah.
So I had met over there. Well, it hadn't even started yet. The first thing I ever did was actually be on the show. I don't remember what episode number it was, but it was the very first thing I did as an employee of the company. So,
Cool.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we used to have a studio. We started in Scott's office. Then we moved out into the open area of the building. But we had to shut the air conditioning off and all the PA system and everything so that people could actually work, but the AC had to be off so that people could hear us, and the rest of the company didn't like us very much for that because we live in Florida, and Florida typically
They were not happy.
needs air conditioning.
Plus, we'd have them in the background
So-
working, and they'd be the whole time going like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, the camera's on me."
So,
Stop
so we moved
typing
to
so
a
loud.
studio in St. Petersburg, and we had to go over there every 2 weeks to record 2 shows, and that got bad. So we
Yeah.
moved in house, and then we also have RC Concepcion over there.
What's up, man?
How's it
What's
going,
going
man?
Good, good.
So
Pretty excited about it.
Tell us about your first show.
Oh God, it was great. It was crazy.
I remember your first one.
It's close to 5 years now too. It's about 5 years. I came on and I thought what I was going to do was working on live shows and things like that. And they were like, no, let's come on PhotoshopUser, and I'm like, okay, wonderful. So we're sitting in St. Pete, and what happened was they had the studio, and then they would do this stuff, and then because you were pretty much taping there all day,
We ordered
were
pizza
just-
for lunch, right?
they would order pizza for lunch, and everybody's sitting there eating pizza and doing stuff, and they were in the middle of set building, so they had all these different things at this giant ladder kind of sitting behind the Photoshop guys, and they're like, it'd be really cool if all of a sudden, like, you just had this ladder there and you didn't do anything with the ladder. So you sold the entire ladder concept the entire time, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, doop, 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 somebody came down from the ladder.
Pizza.
And we're sitting there and we're like, man, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. I'll bring a pizza. And that was my first episode. My first
See the
episode
pizza delivery guy
Yeah.
on the first
I was the
episode.
pizza delivery guy.
Oh, that was funny. That was a funny one. All right, and then finally we have Mr. Pete Collins, our newest addition to the Photoshop guys over there.
Thank you very much, Matt. That's great.
There's no helium in it.
There's no helium in it. I'm like, what is it?
Fake helium voice.
That was my helium voice.
Oh, you just ingested the producer's breath.
Wow.
Sorry.
Sharing.
All right, Pete. So,
That's
Well,
so
see,
your
let's
first
see. I
episode,
started here. Boy, it was a long time ago. It was
6-7
months ago.
Yep. Easy?
My very first day on the job. I
Yep.
walked in and had to tape 2 shows of Photoshop User TV.
I remember that.
And so, and I can attest to this, because Pete was a very good sport about it, but I can attest to the fact that Pete had no idea that he was going to be doing this. All right, this was like we're sitting there and like, yeah, Pete, grab 2 tutorials and do them on the show, and Pete's like, okay. So it's kind of stressful when I mean it's stressful. We've been doing it for
see,
however many years.
And
but-
that's the thing that a lot of people don't get. Like, one of the most common things that people ask is usually, like, isn't it awesome to do this? Like, isn't it great? And I mean, look, don't get me
No.
wrong. It's
No.
phenomenal to do this. It's a great thing to do. But if you had to think about something that you're good at, right? And so you say, pick something that you're good at. And if somebody told you, well, do it this week, and then do it next week, and then do it the week after, and then do it the week after, and then do it the week after. After a while, it gets really hard to kind of keep it fresh and keep it good. And to come up with stuff quickly
We've
on
all
the
had
fly.
that-
That's the
that
hardest part. I
Photoshop
think.
user TV syndrome, where you realize there's a show the next day, and you open your laptop and you just stare for a while and kind of go, no, I've done that before.
I've literally spent time. I come up with what I think is a new idea, and I'll realize I did it like a month earlier.
oh yeah.
I'm like, really? Come on,
But to be
What's
thrown
worse
into that.
What's worse for me is I have to then look at what y'all have done and try to come up with something new.
Yeah, you got it worse than any of us.
I have to research all the stuff y'all done. So I finally just decided I'm just going to steal all y'all stuff and say it's mine.
But then it's like to come in and do that, like just not even have any kind of prep whatsoever.
I think Pete
no
just
camera
volunteered
time,
to
no nothing.
Revive
to
all
just-
the old
Yeah,
tutorials.
Pete was a good sport about it. 'Cause it's not easy. It's not easy to walk in here especially when you haven't been on camera. Luckily, Pete has a good personality for it. But when you haven't really been on camera a lot, to walk in here and bam, your first day you're on the show. So anyway, all right. So we're going to kick things off with our first tutorial from the guy that has the idea of Photoshop TV, Dave Cross.
It's your baby.
In fact, as a little piece of trivia, when we did have the idea, I actually owned the domain name PhotoshopTV.com because years before I'd had the idea and then sort of sat there just sitting in one of those domains you register. So
I remember that.
yeah. And they paid me like $14 for it, so that was awesome.
Cashed out big on that one, man.
All right, so here's what I want to show you, a quick little technique
Like
when you
2,000 Oz Canadian.
have a situation like this. So I did this photo shoot, and I was experimenting with different angles, and I kind of said, I really like this pose, but her shoe is kind of cut off. But actually, maybe I like that post better, but the chair is cut off. And the thing is, I have 2 photographs, neither of which is ideal. So I want to kind of take advantage of both of them. So first of all, I would open them both in Camera Raw at the same time and do select all, synchronize, just in case I chose to make any overall change. But rather than hitting open, I can hit done, because I just want to make sure those changes are put into place. So now I go back to them and use a wonderful thing in Bridge, either Bridge or Mini Bridge, by the way, that's load files into Photoshop layers. That's going to automatically make a new document for me and put the 2 images each on a separate layer. So instead of me having to open them both and then drag them into one document, it does it automatically for me. So the good news is it makes the new document that makes the 2 layers. The bad news is there's still have the problem of not lining up. So then we take advantage of another wonderful technique, and it's called auto align layers. And as you would probably expect, it's under the edit menu because it's auto align layers.
Yeah,
so
why would it be under the layer
wouldn't it
menu?
be?
The first place I look.
It uses the same technology as photo merge, so I usually just click auto, and oh, look at that, done. So now I've got the pose I want, and I'm showing the rest of the chair because it looks for things that can line up on, which in this case was the chair. Now, if I decided I wanted to change the order of the layers, in this case I'd have to play a little bit because the shadow is a little bit different. But the point is, it's done most of the work for me, so now I just have to do minor bits of tweaking to kind of finish it off.
Cool.
So let Photoshop do the work for you as often as you can.
Awesome. All right, moving on down the line, Mr. RC, you have a voice-activated.
I have a voice-activated tutorial.
today.
Right. So I wanted to kind of come up with something quick, something that's multi-purpose, something that that a lot of the times people don't think about when they're working in Photoshop. So I'm going to have Pete drive for this. Pete.
Hey.
Open up an image.
All right.
Actually, you know what? Do me a favor. Open up a Photoshop and then open up a web page.
Done.
Okay. Perfect.
Wow.
All right, so
Unscripted right there.
And is it bigger than a bread box?
Sounds like
3 words. No, so basically this was kind of a production thing. A lot of the times when people need to sample colors and work with colors and do graphic design-y kind of stuff, and the eyedropper and your color tools are something that you need to kind of keep in mind, right? So let's say, for example, you're trying to get a color and you're trying to match a color off of a web page. Right? Easy thing for you to be able to do. Just single click on the center of the canvas. You'll see that your foreground color turns into a specific color, but if you drag all the way over to a web page, anywhere else that you can go will turn that foreground color into that color. So now you can have a web page kind of running in the background as inspiration or as a color palette or as a tone, and then from there you can sample whatever colors that you want. So that's one thing, right? You do that. Now click on the foreground swatch. Imagine if all of a sudden somebody told you, oh, that red car, I need to be able to take that red car and I need to match it with a specific Pantone swatch. Let's say you're doing graphic design, you're doing single color stuff. Well, you don't necessarily have Pantone here, but you could go to your swatch libraries. So right onto this, you go ahead and just click on the last dialog box, and automatically, because you have that color selected, it brings you to the closest Pantone associated color. Something else that's easy for you to be able to do. Now, the last thing that I want to leave you with this is go ahead and switch, cancel out of there, go back over to your main thing. This is something that trips people off all the time. Go ahead and click on the foreground swatch one more time. So once you get the foreground swatch, go ahead and double click on that. Everybody's used to seeing this color picker with light at the top, dark at the bottom. Every now and again, it will break. And when it breaks, it looks like that, and people wig out. And they're like, my Photoshop's broken, I can't get it. Right? Dude, all the time. Yep. And all it is at the very, very top, when you're looking at that, you're looking at hue, saturation, and brightness. When you set it to hue, you have whatever your traditional layout is. You have your color band on the right, and then you have your shades on the big square. If you set it to saturation, that inverses itself. So chances are, if you look at it like that, it's messed up. Those are quick 3 little tips on color and eyedroppers. Take that, no computer.
Bravo, ladder guy with the
pizza
3
delivery.
killer
I
color
don't
tip.
just do pizza.
You know what, dude? We have a ladder over here. That would have been cool. I'm looking right over there. It's a big, tall ladder.
Hell
to have you come down that again. Can we order pizza?
His latter days are over, right?
It is almost lunchtime. Come on. Jen's like, yes, pizza. I'm like, I'm in.
I already did.
All right, hey everybody, we're going to take a very, very quick break, but we'll be back here in just a minute with stuff from Corey, Pete, and maybe even, I think I got something too.
You have something?
I guess I should figure that out. Hey, we'll be right back here in just a minute.
Hope it's steam. I say nay.
Well, welcome back everybody to Photoshop TV. I am here with Dave Cross, Corey Barker,
Hello.
RC back there waving, and then Pete over here on the right-hand side. You can't see him, but Pete waved to you as well.
Pete's actually in
There
another
he is.
room.
I've just been waving the whole time, waiting for the camera to pop to
So
me.
two very quick things. So one thing is you might not know, but Photoshop TV is brought to you by the NAPP, National Association of Photoshop Professionals, the people at bringing PhotoshopUser magazine. We also bring you, if you look on my computer screen over here, we also bring you a very, very cool NAP member website. So if you're a NAP member and you haven't been to this website in a while, it's had a huge, huge overhaul. So make sure you visit there. It's getting updated, sometimes 2-3 times a day. All the Photoshop guys are on it doing a lot
Right
of
now the
lots of
post
different
says
things.
300th episode live today.
300th, I mean, yeah, and there's interviews, there's polls, there's lots of interaction. It's got a whole community around it, so you'll definitely want to stop by. The other thing is, remember that video Scott did in the beginning of the show with the D4 and everything like that? You will be happy to know that it is pouring rain in Central Florida today. And there's like clouds and there's lightning, and he just sent me a text message that said his D4, that I guess the weatherproofing isn't any good and it's ruined. I'm kidding, it's not. I mean, no, it's Scott's having fun today, but he held this D4 up. You got to hear that thing. I mean, it sounds like a machine
I actually started to
gun.
believe you for a second there. I'm like, really?
I'm like, man, that sucks.
I'm thinking, wait, Florida rain? That never happens.
No, not this time of year.
Rain in Central Florida, say it ain't so.
All right, Corey Barker, what you got?
I've got a quick little thing here for just creating an interesting, like, aged frame effect on an image. Let me reset my workspace here. I have my wireless tablet here. Woo! But just real quick, I've got an image here. It's just a generic image I found on iStock. It's just an aged paper. You can see it's got folds in it and all these things. And I want to be able to take this and use it and apply it to an image to give the same effect to a photo. Well, just real quickly, I'm going to take the color out of this image by simply pressing Shift-Command-U. And then I'm going to bring up my levels. Just press Command or Control L, and I'm just going to force all this gray to black. I'm just going to find an area in here and just use the black highlight eyedropper tool and just click once. Notice it left a little bit of the light areas, that scattered mess in there, and that's fine. I want to leave it like that. And now all I need to do is simply take this image over to another photo, like this one here, and I'm going to go ahead and scale it so it will fit. Just scale it up like that. And then to make it work in this image, all I have to do is change the layers blend mode from normal to screen. Boom. We instantly age that photo. Now, if you want to age it even more so, because over time, paper tends to yellow and when it gets folded and everything like that, just put a little bit of a hue saturation on that same layer and give that paper a little bit of a yellow tinge to it.
Yeah, click colorize too, right?
And oh yeah, click colorize, yeah, good call. And then there you got a nicely aged photo.
Awesome.
Real quickly and easily, just taking it from that image.
And I love stuff like that because you can go on to, you can probably find a bunch of free textures. If you just do a search on Google for free textures, you'll find a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
And if you go on iStockPhoto, Photoli.com, you'll find some really, really good quality stuff too.
Yeah.
And they're very, very reasonable.
Certainly ones you can use for a variety of different reasons.
You know, it's a
Well,
pretty,
also
a
if-
pretty decent site for free searchable stock photography is Photo Express. It's it's an arm of Fotolia, and they have a lot of stuff on there that's decent, but especially for that kind of thing where you're going to combine it in for a texture.
Well, and also if you read the feature article on the new magazine coming out, written by a genius of an author,
I'm
he
guessing
talks
that
about how to
anybody
take
but Pete Collins.
and create your own textures.
See?
So-
A plethora of texture information. Our teleprompter is now black.
Oh,
There's somebody at the door.
I got
Hold
it.
on.
I got it.
I think lunch is here.
It's a special guest.
What's the matter, you? I wouldn't eat that, dude.
There actually is pizza in there.
I wouldn't eat this at all.
Thanks for sharing that.
That's garlicky.
All right.
All right, so our teleprompter is indeed black right now.
I'm guessing
I
it's
know
probably
at
you.
some point I'm supposed to do a tutorial. I'm going to look over to our producer.
Oh, no.
Contest,
Shit,
P2,
yeah.
break,
We're
keep
going
going. Okay,
backwards,
no,
back,
keep going, keep back.
Yeah, Matt.
Highlight. Okay, no, I'm not
Oh.
supposed to do a tutorial. We've got a little highlight video reel of sorts for you of videos and stuff, and I'm sure things that will cast us in a very, very poor light over the last
Blast
few
from the
years.
past.
So let's go take a look at that.
All right, welcome to Photoshop TV, the first episode ever of Photoshop TV from the National Association of Photoshop Professionals. We're the Photoshop guys. Let me introduce you to my co-hosts here. First, we got in the middle here, Matt Kloskowski, rocking the houseky.
Hello.
Look, he's got the rocking the houseky shirt on. And Dave Cross,
Rocking the Krosky.
rocking the something. Actually now, coming to you direct from the graphics department at the National Association of Photoshop Professional. All surrounding us are people they're actually working and trying to do their job. These are the people that produce PhotoshopUser magazine and all the stuff that Nap does. And in a little while, we're going to send Dave out with his Dave cam, if you saw the first episode, and actually show you some of them. We'll annoying them while they're working. We'll come by. If you look at the set here, you can see this is our transitional episode. In fact, we're going to be transitioning for a few more episodes. We are in the middle of a brand new set redesign. So we're working on a brand new set. We're working on a whole new rebranding program. Alrighty, hey, how's it coming over there, Corey?
Yeah, well, just trying. Hang on. All right.
Alrighty, well, hey, we are going to take a short break from here on the course, but stick around. Mr. Dave Cross has got a tutorial coming up. We've got contests, we've got prizes, we've got one for the road, we've got news, we've got a whole lot more, so stick around. We'll be right back. Don't go away. All right. Oh, Matt's up here.
Oh, nice attempt, though.
Hey. Hey, everybody, we're the Photoshop guys.
Look, there's RC.
Oh, hey, it's RC.
A couple of days ago, I wound up getting an email.
Well, if you go to Burt Monroy's site,
Say hi to Felix real quick.
happening. How you guys doing?
Corey, gotcha. Coca-Cola.
My man.
That's a Coca-Cola product right there. And Dave, got you a Diet Coke. Here you go. I'm sorry, that's mine. Coke. Diet Coke is mine. Pointy, choppy, jazz hands.
Snowy, I thought you loved me, not the tree. All you like is your car. That's all you care about.
We don't have time for a bunch of stuff.
He left. Yeah, you know what? Come with
That's it. I'm done.
That's all.
Yeah, bye.
Guys. This show's not over. Come back. Crap. Anyway, we'll see you guys next season for a show called The Scott Kelby Show, because they're all fired. All of them. Except for Juan. Juan, you can stay. Meredith, you can crap. I'm not coming up.
Oh gosh. So we're able to watch the little highlight reel with you guys. We're just reliving some of the moments. Oh, fun stuff. All right. We're back. Hope you guys enjoyed that. We did. The golf course one was funny.
That was hysterical.
The one in your car was hysterical too. There's one in Dave's
I can't believe we crammed everybody
Well,
in
the funny part that you can't see is the fellow who had the camera who was backwards, jammed up against the windshield so he could film the whole thing.
Wow.
He had cramps for days, I think.
All right. So I got a quick tutorial for you here. A little, I don't know if you can call it a tutorial, what you'd call it, but it's something in Photoshop. On a way to get rid of this guy over here, because I tried a few different things. I tried this with my buddy Tony, and Tony got in the way, as you can see. I tried a few different things. I tried the clone stamp tool. I tried the spot healing brush with Content Aware. I tried Content Aware. Nothing really did it that good. So I realized, you know what? I have a really good section of grass and runway right here. So all I'm gonna do is make a selection, press Command or Control J, puts it up onto a different layer, and then you just kind of come over here, fit it in. Oh, you know what? Photoshop's doing the snappy thing.
The trick.
I hate it when it does.
Oh gosh, I hate that.
Anybody know why it does that?
I have no idea.
Just to annoy us.
It does. I'm not going to be able to brush on it though, am I?
Yeah, you should be able to rush. You just can't move it.
You just can't move. All right. So you come over here, add a layer mask to that layer, and set your foreground color to black. And then all I gotta do, because you can see obviously there's, no guys, it's doing it.
Is it doing it really?
Are you serious?
Oh, that's right. It just makes a dot of a,
Oh, that's a
man.
nice feature.
Hold on. Let's try this again.
I hate it. My theory is it has something to do with when you unplug from a tablet. It does something.
Oh! No! Go away!
Kill it!
What just happened there? That was weird.
I knew it.
Photoshop World is later this week.
Listen, I would like to just point out for the record, this will make sense to you guys later.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
I
your
knew
screen
it.
wasn't showing.
Oh, good.
No, your screen wasn't.
Anyway.
Hey, Matt, I told you.
I know you did. All right. Garcia can go on the record saying, I told you so.
Well, maybe.
You guys get the idea. The idea was you add a layer mask to it, and you just paint away the edges. But you let Photoshop, you already had the texture, you had the runway.
I don't think you
Just
should
paint
launch
it away.
anything else.
And
I'm not gonna do
maybe
anything 'cause my
very
computer doesn't
shortly
like
there may be, I don't know, some changes that might make it easier to do such a removal. Who knows?
I said
what
something
might
close.
happen.
Pete.
Wow.
Pete, what do you got? Hey.
Pete, please save
Well,
us.
let's see what I can bring up here. No, actually, on the NAP website last week, I did a tutorial on using the color replacement tool in a new way to create some textures. And the thing is, I'd never really played with it that much except for having fun. Well, a lot of people wrote back and said, the color replacement tool is just weird. It doesn't act the way you think it should act.
No, it doesn't.
And so I was like, okay, well, I have to do some research on it. And the thing is, what most people do now with the Google Society is they have a problem, they throw out a question to us or to Google or whatever, and you find out the answer sort of, and then you think you know it until you get stuck. One of the things that I like to do when I get in a problem like that is I'll come over and I'll try to hash it out and find all the different ways that it can be used so that I truly understand the tool. And my tip today is to go in, and if you're not understanding something, go in and play with it and figure out how it's going to interact. Because what you'll find out is something like the color replacement tool has 4 different mode settings, and each one of them will give you a different response according to what it's going to be painted over. And so if I think that I can just come in here and paint in a red color, RC's red color from the website, and it's just going to color over it perfectly, it's not going to work. But if I go in and what I did is I created a whole grid that showed me the different colors, and I did them with saturation, I did them with hue, luminosity, and the different things to show how it's going to interact. And I started to understand the way the tool is going to work. And so my tip is, don't just take our tips and go, okay, now I know what's going on. Get in there and play with them and work things out so that you really know how they work. And you may be surprised to find out that it does something completely unexpected.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I think that, like, we dedicate, a lot of people don't know that, but we dedicate time to kind of just sit on a tool and kind of just bang on it and jump up and down and start researching.
Doesn't that hurt?
Yeah. Only if it's the pen tool.
Come on, guys.
Jen's like, la 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 la.
Earmuffs.
It's a good point though, and if you can't figure out how the tool works, then just send Pete a question and Pete will figure it out.
Yeah, Pete will sort it out for you.
I think to that
I
point,
have this vision of someone creating a little Photoshop photo of RC jumping up and down on a tool of some kind. I don't know.
I think
Okay,
to your point,
please make it the hand.
We'll never make it to 301.
The sponge. Yeah, sponge tool.
Corey, what are you gonna say?
No, I was just going to say to add to that. I forgot what I was going to say.
All right.
But it was.
I don't think there's a whole lot more that can be added to that. We got contest prizes. What are they?
No, I
Corey?
remember what I was going to say now. I was going to say, well,
Don't ever
experimenting
touch me
and playing
again.
around with tools, it helps you anticipate future projects. You'll know what you're going to do. It helps you work that much more efficiently. So.
Yeah, because a lot of people say, I don't have time to play around and figure these things out, but it really does. It's an investment in what you have to do in the future.
Exactly.
All right, Corey, we got prizes.
I got
Let's
a
give away some
whole
stuff.
bunch
We
of
got
prizes
a slew
here.
of stuff here.
Hold on. First, we have on one's perfect photo suite.
Six.
We have the eye stabilizer.
I love that.
I
Which
don't
we
care.
all love.
No.
And if you win this, you must take a picture of yourself walking around with it because we're going to make fun of you.
At the mall or the airport.
And people walking around with their iPads. Look at that photo over there.
We have a host of books. We have RC's HDR book.
Sweet.
And Matt's Photoshop Compositing Secrets book.
Sweet. You got to say it louder, dude.
And
He's
Compositing
secret.
Secrets book by
Thank
Matt,
you.
right here.
Thank you.
And my book.
Oh, Corey Barker's
Down
Photoshop
and Dirty
CS5 Down and Dirty Tricks for Designers, which is probably the best book out there.
Thank you,
on
RC.
Photoshop's Down and Dirty Tricks for designers.
That's all it needs to be said. Thank you.
I'm just letting you know.
And of course, Scott's newest Lightroom 4 for digital photographers.
Awesome.
Every bit of that awesomeness, all for you.
And an app membership, right?
And a NAT membership.
Yeah,
Good
we got
call,
that's like
yes.
the monster contest prize thing.
Indeed.
All you got to do is go to kelbytv.com/PhotoshopUserTV and leave us a comment for this week's show. For the 300th show, leave a comment. You will get entered to win all the prizes. All right, I think that's it.
Oh, I want to add one more prize. Just thought of it. I've got a brand new app for the iPhone, iPad called the Photoshop Quiz Game, and we'll throw in a free one of those too, just for the heck of it.
Crazy Dave. All right. Hey, so real quick, just wanted to, on behalf of all of us here, just want to say thank you to everybody who, if you've stuck around for all 300 episodes, which I highly, highly doubt there's anybody watching that has, but
There's probably at least
just,
one or two.
just to say a big thanks for everybody out there, because it's kind of why we do this. It's what keeps us going each week. But also a big thanks to everybody in here as well. So all the Photoshop guys that help make this show. Everybody at Kelby Media Group that basically owns the company and owns the show and lets us do this. And then, of course, all the producers and the people that are behind the scenes.
Juan the Jim.
Yeah, Juan on the Jim. Juan, do a little.
Big hand for Juan.
There he is. That's Juan on the
There
Jim.
he is.
We have Jen over there behind another camera. She's swinging the camera around. Come on, Jen, swing.
Oh,
Swing.
can we
Swing it.
turn the
There
camera
you
on
go.
Jen?
Swing it.
There we go. Yay.
We have Meredith
in the booth.
Meredith is in the booth, so it's going to be really hard for her to do something, but I'm sure she can.
Unplug us.
Just wave.
Flash the screens a couple of times or something. I don't know.
So
There we go.
we have Eric Kuna, who runs the entire video department, and he does an awesome job with it. Nicole, who's done a lot of graphics for this. Daniel, Brandon, everybody in the video team and our whole production department has played a part in this show in a big way. So we really do appreciate that. And again, we appreciate you and all the sponsors that let us bring the show to you for free each week. Folks, thank you very much. Guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, man, good.
We will see you again for episode. We're going to take a short break, though, aren't we? Our season's done. We're going to take a short four-week or so break.
And not forgetting where we're going to be in a couple of days.
We'll be at Photoshop World. And
We'll be back on May 8th.
we'll be back on May 8th with episode 301. Take care, everybody. We'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.